there's a lot of people making money off that fear. Now start these supplements. Okay, now your hair is going to start falling off. Now you need to start using this on your forehead.
Kissing a woman into an orgasm.
Yes, Jagero.
Sounds like rocket science. What exactly is ovulation?
Yeah. When I say Jagero is very passionate, I know that's how good your sex is as well.
There is only one particular day when a woman gets pregnant. One day. And it's not known. Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udu Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero in the second episode of this beautiful series that I'm going to name for you. The import, the premise of this series is, as we grow older, what are some of the things that we should be doing? All right. As a man, I am now 43 years old. I was telling Dawryn the other day about some stuff. But you see, I am not the man that I used to be. When I was going to school, I would run, I would do so many of these things. The other day, I saw my daughter watching the TV upside down. She was, her head was like she was, you know the way you do this and then you do that on the wall?
Yes.
So she had done that on the sofa and she was watching TV. And
you're like,
I remember them days in the village when we used to actually do that. We would be doing this and then we would be on the wall for long periods of time. And in my head, I am like, if there are things that I did growing up, I would still be able to do that if I was serious about where I'm going. So that is what we are doing. We are talking about as you grow old, what are some of the things that you should be doing? Dawryn talked very what is the word? In details.
Extensively.
Extensively about the woman and how she begins to grow from 1 year. That is about
Not
children.
only the woman, even the man.
Yes, the man, you talked about it, and then at some point you abandoned the man and started talking about the puberty of a woman.
I kept on bringing him inside. I kept on bringing the man in.
But we know your biases. I'm very aware of your biases. So
me?
Yeah.
Me? Am I biased?
And I don't think it should be looked at negatively.
No, but I think
But for example, right now, if I asked you, you do a lot of work with women.
Yeah.
So you've got a bias towards... It's not...
Society started the bias. I'm trying to correct what society did.
Probably you are... when I use the word bias, I'm using it very traditionally and classically to mean that you tend towards.
I think what you're trying to say, there's no gender equality in the work that I do.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I am just saying that most of your work, it tends towards women.
Do you know why? Because I wouldn't want it to be like that. Because a woman is not in relationship with herself when I'm talking about intimacy and sex.
Okay.
Especially given that I teach more heterosexual, I teach sex and sexuality for heterosexual relationships. I'm aware she's going to find a man there. But do you know why I focus on the woman mostly, Jagero?
Yeah.
And I don't want to trigger you, but patriarchy left the woman behind.
Okay.
You understand? So what we are trying to do is to close the gap. We have to bring this woman to this man's level so they can enjoy each other.
Yeah.
I am for equality in relationships. I'm for orgasm equality in relationships. I'm for relationships where there's secure attachment, where I can be, you can be. You know, I've been talking about autonomy and interdependence. You know, which people struggle with codependence? It's women. Yes, men also, there are men who struggle with codependence. There are very few. Yes, now we have we have more avoidantly attached women or hyper independent women. It's now what we are seeing based on the fact that we have fought so long for women. We have fought so long for them that we have again pushed them to the extreme. The Dawryns are bringing balance. The Dawryns are saying you can tap into your masculine and in your feminine. The Dawryns are saying that you can be interdependent and also be independent. The Dawryns are the ones here to bridge the gap between patriarchy, extreme feminism, and what's socially and biologically healthy for all humans. I don't believe, like personally, I value relationships. I value a relationship with myself and with men. Man, I can't go without a man's voice, without a man's presence. I can, but I would rather not. Right? I like a man's input, the way a man's brain thinks and mind thinks. They're very different. I like that. I like to feel like I'm being supported in this life. So for me, it's not that I am tending more for women. It's because they were left behind a lot. This conversation we're having, Jagero, I meet women at 43 and they still do not know when their menstrual phase is, how long their menstrual phase is. I feel bad.
But you see now, we are not still understanding each other. I agree with you. And the reason why you have given that women have been left behind is the reason why I also talk about the bias towards the work that you do with women. So that is there. We left our last conversation. We left it at a place where we were talking about. I think we did we really reach? We actually talked about the woman looking at her blood and knowing that I've got this problem, I've got that problem, I've got this problem. But that has happened, and now the age 35 is around the bend. And you said that now we are starting to have shorter, longer, heavier, more regular. Sometimes, you know, you call it an ovulation, an ovulatory stage. Do you want to pick it from there? Where do you want to pick it from?
What I don't want to normalize is that we are beginning to see. Hormones are shifting, but we should be experiencing subtle or whispers of these things, and they've always been talking. Our cycle has always been talking. However, if we get to 35 and we didn't have care, we did not have alignment, we're not in rhythm with our cycle, that's why you're seeing more women now going into or approaching 35 confused, feeling abandoned, feeling ununderstood. Jagero women go to the hospital and they say these subtle things and there's nobody who has a language for them. They're not being told, listen, no fear. So what I don't like is the fear, the internalization of fear in our bodies causes worse. And so we see the chaos which isn't supposed to be there. The point for this conversation is if women can learn to listen without judgment, they can learn to listen without fear, then those symptoms will be friends. But if they listen with fear, they will call menopause too fast. They will call everything perimenopause. I've seen even influencers saying that, they are menopausal and they still have a period and they're still bleeding. There's just the wrong language. The wrong language is coming from the internalization of this as a fearful thing. Then there's a lot of people making money off that fear, the beauty standards, of, okay, now your skin is going to start sagging. Now start these supplements. Okay, now your hair is going to start falling off. Now you need to start using this on your forehead. Okay, now you're going to start graying. Now you need to do this to prevent. People are taking advantage of that fear and making women just continue in that fear. So for me, this conversation is observe these. They're trying to say, they're telling you, you are now going to a different phase that needs you to care more or to care differently. And if you do care for yourself, you won't need to conform to the fear or to conform to whatever it is goes your way. When I put that post up, somebody said, why are we normalizing menopause for women in their 30s? And I see that we are too quick to judge. We're not even reading depth. We're not even reading to understand posts because of the fear of, oh my God, a woman is too young to be menopausal in her 30s. Definitely. But you ask doctors how many women have been declared menopausal, meaning they've spent 12 months without a period. Menopause is a one-day event, but it takes 10 years for the body to prepare for it. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, it will be one day the doctors will see, when did you last bleed? How many months has that taken? Then they will say, on this day is when you hit menopause. So it's not like every woman who gets 30 needs to start worrying about that one day. And even when it's that one day, it's not a death sentence. Traditionally, in so many cultures, it used to be a moment of celebration. Do you know why? But before I take you why, let's finish this girl, who, this moment of getting to 35. So I was saying that based on how we are nurtured, we may miss these signals, and we also may not understand how to read these signals. So we're looking at how our upbringing affects our nervous system, how our upbringing affects our cycle, and how we need to realign, rhythm the cycle. So the medicine for a woman who is not yet 35, who wants to arrive at 35 like the queen she's supposed to be, right? I say queen because the woman goes through different stages. The maiden, the enchantress, you know, by 35, she's going into her queendom. She's mastered self-mastery, self-acceptance. She's now preparing for self-authority, right? So for a woman to arrive there vizuri, she needs to learn how to take care of her period, or rather her cycle, how to be in sync with it. There's a method we call psycho-syncing.
Psycho-syncing?
Yes.
Okay.
Psycho-syncing is self-care. So, Jagero, for a woman who was not taught how to take care of her womanhood at puberty, she's going to arrive at 35 confused. You know why? Because she was not taught how to mother herself. She's the one who acts the matter on the outside, yet can't be a matter to herself. So we are supposed to teach girls how to reparent themselves. See, we talked about proper parenting is if there was presence for your emotional needs to be nourished, right? So yes, parents are not perfect. Mothers were not perfect. Our dads were not perfect, right? And so when we get to a place where we heal from the wounding they caused us, the goal should be to reparent ourselves, to reparent the inner child that is still waiting to be properly parented, right? So reparenting means taking care of your nervous system. Understanding what happened to you is very important, because when you understand what happened to you, you hold space for yourself with compassion. So if we talk about the nervous system, it will mean you need to attune to it, because the nervous system has been in survival all these years. You remember the adaptability strategies? The nervous system has been making you adapt through perfectionism, through overgiving, through overbearing, through rebellion, through, you know, so it needs attunement. Attunement is, it wants you to build, we call it self-permission, like on the inside, to have agency, to have consent, to give permission, the body permission to feel pleasure, to bleed nicely, right? So it needs attunement. What does that call for? We need to know that if you understand what happened to you, we all have a childhood. It has shaped your nervous system and your gut. So many people have gut imbalances because of that childhood. So many people have chronic inflammation because of that childhood, but it can still be healed through the body, right? And for women, through the cycle, right? So attend to the cycle. it may sound like it's too much work, but it's because you've not been attending to it. So it's not in your system. So starting out, women feel like it's too much work, right? So it will mean you understand what is self-care on my menstrual phase, which energy is rising up for me in my menstrual phase. How do I attune to myself in my menstrual phase? So key things to note, we talked about iron, right? So reparenting means what is my energy like on my menstrual phase? On the menstrual phase, the woman is more, her psyche is more authoritative, meaning she discerns truth, she discerns, she gets clarity more on her menstrual phase. So her energy is inward focusing. Inward focusing means she needs to rest. Her cycle requires her to learn how to rest, to give, to surrender to rest, and to ask for support, to be pampered, to be nurtured, to be soothed. So your little girl, if she starts menses, you need to know how to make for her some warm soups, how to make for her some herbal tea, not to fix her. You know, I see when men are learning how to support women, they're like, she has cramps, she has this, she's not supposed to have anything to be supported. We don't need to first suffer to be supported. We need to accept that rest is productive. So the way we've been socialized.
I think there is a place where you've gone too quickly. Probably you dwell a little bit on it.
Okay.
You talked about a girl that is starting her menses.
Yeah.
What are some of the things, the care that she needs in terms of food?
Which is what I'm talking about. That you have a little girl, but now I'm trying to tell the girls to realign. So to align with a menstrual phase.
Yes.
Foods and care. The menstrual phase is the phase for rest. Whether you have fatigue, whether you're feeling you have cramps, you don't need to first suffer to rest. You have to come away from the socialization that rest has to be earned. You just need to know that this is the phase when my body is inward facing. I don't have a lot of energy to exert on the outside. I don't need a lot of stimulation, but also my psyche requires me to connect with my truth. So you reflect more through journaling, through meditation, and through taking space for yourself, right? And then ask for support. You can give it yourself, but also ask for it in terms of maybe you need some hot water bottle. You feel you need some warmth, or you need some soup, or you need some herbal tea to be made for you. You learn to ask.
And that's the question.
What are the herbal teas
that I wanted to ask you? For example, when you say that give her soup, what is soup supposed to help with?
Bone broth.
If you're supposed to give her tea, what tea? Why is it important? Because I think, and what are the other things that they should be given, and how is it important? That is the question I was asking.
Though I told you that earlier. I said on the menstrual phase, the woman is bleeding a lot. So, well, she's bleeding, and therefore she needs to replenish her iron to begin with. So that's the phase when she needs to eat take herbal teas with stinging nettle, raspberry leaf, to eat foods like lentils, black beans, liver. They support with iron, right? But also she needs to replenish her minerals. She's lost out on some minerals. So she might need some collagen supporting foods. So if you make her soup, let it be bone broth or vegetable broth. Like foods which have a soup which has lots of nutrients that replenish minerals, right?
Yeah.
Then also it's a phase for rest. Rest is as important as the food. And so rest is seen in different ways. Some people rest by just sleeping. Others rest by journaling. Others rest by listening to music. Others rest by doing forest bathing, like taking a walk in nature. So she just needs, and the body tells you what kind of rest it wants. That's the beauty of our menstrual phase. You check in and you have a sensation and a signal of how you want to rest. And so her learning to verbalize the rest she needs, right? So rest is as important on that phase as the food she's eating, right? So that's the food. The care is mineral-rich foods, but it's not looking further. I have a blend I call womb tea. It has raspberry leaf, it has stinging nettle, it has Aden fruit. Aden fruit is a herb that I get from Uganda that helps those who get cramps, who experience cramps, or those who have fibroids or endometriosis or bleed too much, So I put that in so that we don't have to get there to begin with. I believe in prevention more than I do believe in working on cures. I prefer prevention. So every woman needs to have a herbal tea. It should not be just green tea. It should be a herbal tea intentionally, or with the mindfulness of knowing I need to be able to replenish my minerals, and I also need to replenish, or rather to take care of my iron, boost my iron levels, right? Then she needs to take vitamin C foods, because iron needs vitamin C to absorb it. So baobab, I mean, we are a baobab-rich country. Get that baobab, you know. I see people put baobab in tea. Baobab is a vitamin C rich food, and vitamin C is very sensitive to heat, so it should not be exposed to heat. All vitamin C's like hibiscus shouldn't be boiled, it should be brewed. So if a woman is going to use hibiscus, hibiscus is also good for replenishing
What is the difference
iron.
between boiling and brewing?
When you boil something, so cooking methods, I think you need to come for our retreat. I need to show you the different brewing methods. Our retreat, the Womb Awakening retreat that's happening
tell me a
in
little
May.
bit about that Womb Awakening retreat. What does it entail?
It's mostly because of this. Because of this confusion about our bodies and self-care, I've created a Womb Awakening retreat, an event where women can come, and live, I show them how to balance their hormones using food, using probiotics, using adaptogens. Live, I show them how to tend to their wombs, like the self-care we needed to have learned earlier. When do you need a castor pack? When do you need a vajacial? When do you need to steam? When do you need which herb? When do you need to massage your belly? When do you need, what do sensations mean? How do you decode this symptom and the other symptom? What self-care needs that? So I want just live to show women, and then they tell me how they feel. Because we've not felt good, we've only fixed things. We don't know how to take care of ourselves before things can be bad. And for me, the retreat is about that. Learn how to tend to nurture, so we don't have to scream through our 30s and our 40s because of these words that are being given to us, right? So the retreat is about womb, learning how to connect to the womb, to connect to the cycle, and learning how to build a rhythm around your cycle, how to understand your energy based on your cycle, the foods, your nutrition based on your cycle, your exercises based on your cycle, and then aligning to it so that you don't have to struggle with burnout. Jagero, I don't like that now we have more women talking about having their wombs, rather their uteruses removed. Like, how did we get there?
Because of fibroids.
So how did we get there? Why aren't we teaching this self-care earlier? So fibroids don't have to end up making women, or rather exposing women to that.
But I think that in our society, we have a very big problem with talking about what the society has decided to call private part. So when I meet women and saying that I watch your podcast with my headphones on because there is the word vagina coming out of it, because there is the penis coming out of it, because we are talking about menstruation and blood and sex. And I think that is the reason, because a lot of and look, I think this is the reason why some of the people find my podcast a bit unique and interesting, because most of these things that a lot of people are not talking about, because our TVs do not talk about those things,
Kudos
our
to you.
radios do not talk about those
That's
things.
true.
They do not talk about those things. So sometimes somebody wants to go and crouch somewhere or to get into a cupboard somewhere and listen to Dialogues Jagero because of the words. So that is the reason why, and you, like, for example, you can imagine that this is how much you are talking about women. Okay,
and we've not started the men.
Yeah, and probably if you don't talk about the men, then a man can come here and talk about how to be macho, how to belong to the red pill community. How to be strong and so on, and so forth. But who is gonna talk to the man about his balls? Yeah. You know, who is going to talk to him about? The other day we were talking about your Ugandan friend was talking about how to massage your penis, just for the sake of keeping it healthy. And people were like, "What?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, what?
I get the same thing when I'm teaching women how to massage their breasts. And they're like, they only touch the nipple, they pass the oil here, they don't touch there. And you know what you're saying is exactly true. And it's a shame that we get to be there, we think people are talking about it. Yeah. It's true. Like the shame around our body parts, the shame around talking about what is biologically ours.
Yeah.
So that shame is actually keeping things away. As being called for an event to talk on Women's Day, and they wanted me to talk about hormones, hormonal balance for the corporate woman. Do you know I was hidden? First of all, I'm associated to sex and sexology. The HR was scared of if I should mention the word sex, she's fired, she's gone, she's dead. So I had to be given this preamble, this preparation of, please just talk about the seeds, the kombucha, and then when she was in the audience, she was scared Dawryn is about to say sex. And of course I said sex, because how do I say sex hormones without mentioning sex? Estrogen is a sex hormone. Testosterone is a sex hormone. And these ones affect your cognitive function. They affect your energy at work. These hormones affect your desire, motivation for work. They also do affect your adrenals. So burnout at work, how do I fix that without fixing your sex hormones? But I'm not even supposed to mention that.
Do you think that they wanted you to sort of have women in a different room from the men?
I actually talked to only women. They didn't.
And still they were fearful?
Yes.
In the room?
Yes.
So why should women massage their breasts?
Wow, so many good reasons. Because one, we orgasm from them.
So in that case, I think it is the man that should be massaging them.
Why should I wait for a man to stimulate my body? Our arousal system is responsive. Responsive means I sit next to you, Jagero, here, and yes, there's chemistry, but my body will need touch. So parts that don't get touched have low blood circulation. Therefore, they have low arousal. So many women are not able to enjoy the nipple orgasms because of that.
A nipple orgasm?
Yeah.
What's a nipple orgasm?
The nipple orgasm is a nipple orgasm that through nipple stimulation, nipple touch, nipple nibbling, a woman gets to experience an orgasmic, feel like an orgasm through the nipples. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does that take before she gets an orgasm?
Shouldn't be as long as it takes for you to kiss a woman into an orgasm.
Kissing a woman into an orgasm?
Yes, Jagero.
Sounds like rocket science.
It's it. How do you guys kiss? What is the purpose of a kiss?
Kiss to the point of orgasm. Then
but it should
probably
be.
We don't understand what orgasm is.
That's the thing. Because most people peck, they don't kiss. When we talk about pleasure and presence is where we see it. So in the search for the wrong masculinity, remember the power point we talked about when we said from 2 years to 4 years, both men and women get to learn how to tend to their independence, dignity, and autonomy. And that's how men connect to the proper power. That's how men get to understand what power means and what it feels like. So for the boys that are not taught or are not allowed to feel autonomous and independent, they seek for power elsewhere. Do you know why they seek for power?
No.
Performance, performative sex. So they feel more powerful when sex is about performance, not presence. Fast forward, when we talk about andropause, I will show you how identity for men changes after 45. Their bodies don't want that performance. So we have more erectile dysfunction. We have a longer refractory phase, meaning one orgasm, he takes 3 days before he gets turned on again. So men from 45, the issues they're talking about are not actually for me breakdowns. They're asking for a different way of connecting to their masculinity. So if masculinity is still about performance, they're going to struggle with their erections. I'll take you there.
That's beautiful. Where were we?
So we're talking about the menstrual phase. Now the follicular. So the care for the follicular phase for the little girl, even a girl who has just begun her periods, the girl who is in her 20s, the woman who is getting to the 30s, the woman who is getting to 45, they all need to be able to understand how to take care of the follicular phase. So the menstrual phase is when the woman connects to her inner authority. That is the wise woman archetype. That is the energy of the wise mother or the wise woman inside her. The follicular phase is when her maiden energy rises. Maiden energy is she's more curious, she's more social, she's more motivated. Estrogen rises. Testosterone, rather, as estrogen begins to rise, it makes her more motivated, and more socially inclined, right? So that energy is the maiden energy. So she's very creative. That phase, because the body is producing a lot of estrogen, she needs to support the liver. The liver helps a lot with estrogen metabolism. So she needs to learn how to, that's when she starts learning how to, starts taking care of her hormones. Eating foods that support estrogen balance, eating foods that support testosterone, because she's preparing for ovulation, right? So this phase, she starts seed cycling. Seed cycling is eating seeds and nuts that support the hormones that are being produced along your cycle. Why I say seeds and nuts? Because they're the cheapest, most affordable, most foods which are easy to get for the young girl. Because we will tell you so many foods that support estrogen, but most of them are a bit too expensive, or most of them are not accessible. They're not around. You don't go to the supermarket to find them. So when we are looking at nutrition, we need to talk about foods which are accessible, and self-care which is accessible first, because in prevention doesn't need a lot of stuff, right? So these seeds and nuts are little, tiny but mighty. Flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. The flax seeds will support they have healthy fats. Estrogen loves fat. If you don't eat healthy fats, it's going to mess up with your insulin and make you put on so much weight. So it will distribute weight around the hips and the bum and the boobs so that it has fat to work with. In Africa we love those things, but that's why we also struggle with estrogen dominance, because we have more fat distribution. That fat is estrogen wanting, and because also we don't eat healthy fats as much. So she needs healthy fats. I know if I talk about olive oil, in most homes that's expensive. If I talk about coconut oil, some homes that's not affordable for 6 girls. But flax seeds and chia seeds are readily available. 1 tablespoon of flax seeds for a girl who is menstruating will prevent her, or will take care of her brain, that because her cognitive function is highest on the follicular phase. So she doesn't work with migraines, or she doesn't work with self-doubt. That will be supporting, and also help her at school, so she can be able to focus, right? Then pair that with pumpkin seeds. We need the zinc, yeah? So we need the zinc for the testosterone that is going to be peaking at ovulation. So pair that with pumpkin seeds, 1 tablespoon each. They need to be taken raw. They need to be taken whole, meaning no processed ones. Actually, they've removed the shell, and then so the pepitas are different. You see the pumpkin seeds of Kitambo, the way you remove pumpkin seeds from the pumpkin, and then they used to fry them. These seeds should not be cooked. They should be taken raw, because cooking affects the very many nutrients we are looking for in this very tiny seed. So the best way to process them is to mill them, turn them into powders, then add them to oats, or to brown porridge, or to smoothie, or to juice, or to your plant-based milk. Yeah. So I make different psycho-syncing blends. I add in some vitamin C, I add in baobab, I add in some adaptogens to help the women. But to start with, basically, it's those 2. Now, those who have, let's say...
Just for clarity, all these things that we are giving to the young girl can also be taken advantage of by women that are living alone, that are women that are of age. So these things that we are giving to girls, the women can also be taking them.
I take them. I take them, even a woman who is menopausal. That is for clarity,
because now we are talking about the young girl.
Yeah,
so people might be asking, okay, so should I also take the same?
I understand. You asked for them. That's okay, because hormones don't affect only the period or the cycle. They also affect our they affect our cognitive function. They affect our muscles. Our hormones affect more than, like I said there, they affect more than just the period. So just because you're not bleeding anymore doesn't mean you're not producing these hormones anymore. They still have other functions other than reproduction, right? So
no, but I'm specifically asking for the menstruating woman.
Yes, the young girl, the woman in her 20s, in her 30s, in her 40s, 50s, 60s, all of them.
Okay.
It's just that the young girl has a map. Every woman who is still menstruating has a map. Like for her, she can tell, I'm on my period, I will take womb tea. After period, I eat my seeds until ovulation. Those seeds can only be eaten until ovulation. So the liver also needs support. Women, we need to teach our young girls to learn how to take bitters. You know, the bitter vegetables, the bitter herbs. Slowly, I find people struggle to take dandelion. Oh, it's bitter. But if you start these girls young, they get the palate acclimatizes to them.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you meet a 30-year-old woman and you give her dandelion, these things, me, I don't want to stress myself. That's what they say. So the challenge is in, we start fixing. So they start taking them as medicine. They were supposed to be taken as food. So it introduced a bitter herb to help her, to support her liver. There's burdock, there's milk thistle. The best is milk thistle for the liver. Milk thistle is not even that bitter, but the liver needs bitters, at least one. There's artichokes. Artichokes are vegetables. But if you make a herbal tea for her, for that phase, again, the womb tea can be taken, that whole phase as well. But any mother can be creative. Like, get a bitter herb. Then get bitter vegetables. Let your daughters learn to love to eat bitters. At the time when estrogen is very high, towards ovulation, there's cellular turnover. The woman's ovaries are using a lot of energy to be able to pick the best egg and put it out. So we have a lot of metabolic activity and cellular turnover, right? So the liver needs to be supported not to have to experience oxidative stress, right? So when the liver is healthy, it's clean, it will support estrogen metabolism, and so we will not have inflammation towards ovulation. We will not have oxidative stress towards ovulation because those are not needed there. So herbs that help with that, herbs that help the liver to be healthy and good are bitter. So we call them bitters. Their purpose is to support inflammation, rather to...
So the question then is, Dawryn, the bitter component in those herbs is what?
For you, you're wondering why should they be bitter to help the liver?
Yes.
It's like asking beetroot why should it be red to support iron making? That's how they are.
Okay.
We just say bitter so that people can just remember that a bitter herb helps with my liver. But we could say, it's like saying, eat colored fruits. What are we saying? Eat minerals. It's like saying, eat chlorophyll. So we are saying, find every green fruit, rather vegetable, and eat it. Because the kidneys will want the chlorophyll. The blood will need the chlorophyll. Because it helps with cleansing the blood. So we are just using terms to help people identify bitters for the liver, chlorophyll for the kidneys, colored fruits for this and that, for the skin. So if people are talking to you about the skin, they'll be like, eat more colored fruits and vegetables. For us, if we are talking about the liver, we'll say, eat more bitters.
Exactly.
Because we know what we are looking for: glutathione. We're looking for some nutrients that the liver needs to be able to perform its job properly. So the follicular phase is a phase for eating. It's the mothering phase. It's the phase when the woman is supposed to nourish, like eat some tropical fruits, raw vegetables, some salads. But if they listen, actually we crave those things at that phase. You crave to munch on a fruit. You crave more vegetables and fruits on the follicular phase. On the luteal phase is when you crave oily things and nyama and all those things. So basically that's what they need to focus on, but also focus on probiotics. Yeah, and eat foods that support the microbiome so that we don't get the oxidative stress at ovulation. So can I take you to ovulation now?
Yes.
But also this is a phase when the woman needs, but before ovulation, the follicular phase is the phase when the girl needs to be able to be trained to attune to her magnetism. That phase it's like estrogen just stimulates more verbal fluency. It makes the women more sociable. So it's the phase that they glow. It's the phase when they want to talk more. It's the phase when they can. So they should not abuse it. I remember when the young girls are growing and they're sensual and they're playful, we would tell them, put yourself together. Stop being seductive. Why are you doing that for? Now if you get raped, you'll be you see, the beautiful energy is suppressed and it's seen as a bad thing.
I've got a scandalous question.
So that phase, the girls need to tap into their sensuality, into beauty. They need to...
I've got a question.
Ask.
The reason why I say this is scandalous is because, so we are talking about ovulation.
Yeah. No,
correct?
follicular towards ovulation, the days towards ovulation.
Okay, I will ask it when we get to ovulation.
Okay, sawa.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the follicular phase, she can feel that energy, the ovulation energy beginning to rise. So ovulation phase, how do we take care of the ovulation phase? That is the phase when she needs to eat antioxidant-rich foods. So the ovulation phase, like I mentioned earlier, is the phase when there's more cellular turnover, there's a lot of metabolic activity. So normally the body can handle that, right? But if she overworks, she does not rest well, if her nervous system is dysregulated, she might get the oxidative stress. Which
What exactly is ovulation?
Guy. I want to respond like a Kenyan guy.
What exactly?
But you're very interested in ovulation because you asked me about anovulation, ovulation, and every
Yeah,
time
what exactly? Let's not talk about the kids now, the girls, a woman. What is ovulation?
Purpose for ovulation.
Yes.
Understanding why should a woman attune to ovulation?
What is it? What is the body telling the woman to do? To look for a man? All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjegero.co.ke. And now, back to programming.
Yes, because that so from follicular to ovulatory phase.
Yes.
That's her mothering phase. That's the phase when she's looking to create. So creation energy is highest. How it's looked at is differently. So creation energy is different. We've understood it as creation is making babies, right? So the energy for creation is up, both for magnetizing, both for choosing, yeah, both for pleasing, both for being lovey-dovey. So the creation energy is high.
Horniness,
definitely all that is horniness. Like pleasure, like chemistry, she's easy to please, has this sense of discernment is low, she's
A sense of discernment
yeah,
is low.
Yeah, she can say yes. Her yeses are too fast. She doesn't. If she's not been rooted, if she's not been grounded in understanding the difference between curiosity and
One
yes.
night stand?
Exactly, those ones. That's the time they will have the one night stands. It's the time when they will. Not the healthy ones.
This is interesting.
Not every woman.
This is interesting.
But not every woman.
This is interesting because this is why things happened in a car and we are pregnant.
Yes.
It's the one sofa set sex.
Yes.
And you're pregnant.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is pregnant.
Yeah.
Do you think that before you get into this,
Yeah.
do you think that there are lots of women who are aware that actually this is the time to give birth? This is the time to get pregnant?
Yeah.
Or there are some women that do not know?
Thank you. Like we said, ovulation is it's one of the loudest signals we get. If a woman is told to connect to it, all the signals are there. The temperature down there changes. Even your susu is hot. Your thighs are very hot. Then everything is flowing inside you. You're very horny. You cross your legs like this, and you can't believe what has happened to you. You go to the gym, and you can have orgasms in the gym. You can sense that energy is awake. It's alive in you.
And if you don't want to get pregnant, you must be super careful. There is a lady who told me that she never leaves the house. She hardly leaves the house when she's ovulating.
So you see how every woman knows herself. Ovulation hits them differently. So depending on if you have that agency, like if I'm to go out, can I really be able to say no to chemistry? Because there's a difference between chemistry and alignment. Ovulation messes you up. It makes you think chemistry is connection. You know, that's the challenge with ovulation, and that's why I will respect a woman
So all
like
will
that.
happen is feeling stupid the next morning.
Exactly. And thinking, that guy is not even anything close to who I would want. Like, what was that? But I wanted anyway. I like the ones who are like, no regret. I wanted. I got. Move on. Even if he's not texting me, I am happy and all that. But they can understand that is one of our weakest window. Weak in terms of if you've not trained yourself to understand the difference between alignment, chemistry, and compatibility. So we train our young girls. We tell them not to suppress the energy, but to listen to it and take care of it.
And here comes then my scandalous question.
Okay.
Because it's very interesting that the biology is telling the 12-year-old and the 13-year-old that you can have sex. What is going on here?
Great.
Because you're running away from it yourself.
No, I'm not running away from it at all, and I want to address it because we need to help mothers. When I'm training femininity,
Okay.
I look at where it was suppressed. The time when femininity was supposed to be nurtured, it was suppressed, and part of femininity is seduction. Part of what's feminine about is your vulnerability and your innocence.
Okay.
So these are energies which are outward expressed. They're expressed to the man as energies of, because men are attracted to them.
Okay.
But they are energies which are coming out of you. So because mothers wanted to prevent pregnancies, they made sure the girls don't express these energies. So fast forward, you meet this girl who's getting married, and she's supposed to be feminine. She's supposed to be innocent. She's supposed to be vulnerable. She's supposed to be seductive and ningumu. Right? So how can we support mothers to nurture that without losing the girl too early and also femininity? I believe in agency. When we allow people to feel, express, and talk, when that little girl gets connection at home. So this is a very important thing because we talked about it. Remember when you talked about girls value connection?
Yes.
If that girl didn't get connection, like no hugs from daddy, no hugs from mommy, no soothing from daddy, I don't expect daddy no presence from daddy. Daddy doesn't see me. Dad doesn't understand me, right? Those needs are the ones that make this girl to misbehave at ovulation. Like I was mentioning, not every girl. You understand? So most girls are looking for what they didn't get at home. So ovulation spikes that. So ovulation is showing the unmet needs. Every part of our cycle shows us where we're not loved. Like a girl can tell from her period where she was not loved. Because when I meet girls now and you tell them, do you suffer from the insecurity wound? She's like, at 0 to 4 months, how can I know that? But the cycle can tell you. Because at ovulation, when every time she has one night stands and she's regretting, every time she says yes to people and she regrets that, it means she has unmet needs. Her heart was not tended to well. Right? So the mother is supposed to notice that if a girl wants hugs from boys a lot, if a girl is out there needing kisses from boys a lot, there was no touch in the home. So connection, if the girl has healthy connection, she can sense this energy for connection and she still knows where to look for it, where belonging is. If she feels like there's a sense of belonging at home, she will get that energy and she will look for mommy and daddy. She will look for her brothers and sisters. Healthy belonging at that stage, right? But if she senses there's no belonging at home, she's going to look for that outward and unhealthily because the nervous system was not trained. When we give our children presence, we are training their nervous systems to be steady when there's intensity, to be steady and to not confuse the bare minimum for love. This girl who didn't get soothing from the mother, who didn't get presence from the dad, who didn't get touch from the family, whatever space, is going to confuse a handhold for he wants me tonight. So the bare minimum feels like it's a lot for them. They didn't sit with it earlier. They didn't sit with, if you hold your girl when you're walking with her, you're co-regulating with her and her nervous system is building capacity for love, right? So if she meets a boy who holds her hand, I've been getting this, so you're not shocking me into anything. Therefore, I'm not confusing this for love. Are you getting it? If she gets a boy who hugs her, daddy gives me hugs, so I'm not confusing this for love. Right? If she gets a person who tells her, oh, you look so beautiful, because daddy has been telling her that, or mommy has been telling her that, it's not new in her body. She doesn't get to confuse that for love. So they don't confuse validation for connection. Those are the girls who go through ovulation healthily.
Okay. The biology is saying that the girl. So so the girl is 13, the girl is 12, the girl is 13, 14.
So the biology is saying you should have sex to create.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's confused like that. Even when I'm talking to my son, I've started talking to my 15-year-old about, masculinity and emotions and sexual energy and all that, Just because it's welling inside you doesn't mean it's only for sex. Your sexual energy is your creative energy. Do you know what creative energy means? Jagero, for you to be able to design this space like this and come up with political headache dialogues with Jagero and think I need Dawryn on the podcast and then I need to have this. This is your creative energy flowing. Okay. It's also your sexual energy. So instead of having sex, you're creating podcasts. Right? Yeah. So when we confuse when we limit creative energy only for performance, for penetration, we have not understood it and we've not taught it to our children. Our children need to know that at ovulation, you're very creative. Therefore, instead of creating babies, you can create art, right? You can create a meal. You can bake. Your creative energy will be high, but what is creativity? You will find that you're putting up so many things together and they're coming to anything. You can crochet, it's creative energy. Creation energy is not only for creating babies, for creating businesses, creating ideas. She will notice that at school she's more spontaneous with ideas and she wants to participate in things. That is creative energy. That's what estrogen stimulates. Motivation, dopamine is high, pleasure is high, creative energy is passion, right? The same sexual energy is the one that is connected to intuition, so it stimulates passion. So she's going to feel passion. So passion is not only for the boy, it's for her ideas as well. Passion is for her books as well.
I'm beginning to understand.
You understand? Like that fire is not only for sex. It's the same fire we have for businesses. When I say, Jagero, you're very passionate, I know that's how good your sex is as well. No, but I will tell you. I can tell the men who struggle with erections are struggling with their dream, with their sense of purpose.
Why is the Muga looking like this?
No, you have good sex. Now he's shying away from a good thing. When you see a man who is passionate, who has drive, that guy cannot have erectile dysfunction.
He's over.
When you see a woman who is passionate, who has drive for her business, she can't just be sleeping around having one night stands.
Yeah.
You know, so even when you're looking, when we're working with men who are struggling with erections, with arousal, with sustaining the erection, or with longevity, right? With whatever, I just look at what their sense of purpose is.
Okay.
When they are disconnected from it, then their sex will
Can we
struggle.
talk about stress before we wind down?
Okay.
Because you talked about when the nervous system stays in survival mode, ovulation may pause. Are we done with the phases?
I'm about to finish, but also that's very good. So ovulation.
But let's finish after the ovulation and then
the luteal phase very quickly. So ovulation is sensitive to nervous system dysregulation. Very good point you've said. Remember oxidative stress. So ovulation time, even as the woman is not making babies, her ovaries have a lot of cellular turnover. FHS and LHS, luteinizing hormone, are being produced, whether she's going to have, that egg is going to be turned into a human being or not, right? So endocrine disruptors, environmental toxins are the ones that end up stimulating bad estrogen. So women get estrogen dominance, and then they get anovulatory cycles. So oxidative stress highly affects ovulation and fertility. So it's not only for women who are looking for babies, but also women who are looking for fertility in purpose. Like those women struggle now to be able to connect with their desires, to connect with their dreams, to connect with their purpose, which you will see in midlife. What they call a crisis happened early, when this girl was not taught how to rest, but also how to remove things from her environment that can affect her oxidization or her cellular turnover. So basically, quickly is, let's not teach our girls to do makeup early. Let's not teach our girls to have to change their hair colors early. Let's not teach our girls, those things are affecting their fertility, they're affecting their their ovulation, right? Let's not teach them to eat processed foods. Let's now tell them to be more organic. Let's tell them that if you drink lots of sodas, if you eat over-fried foods, if you put so many wigs on your head and then color your hair too fast and then wear too much makeup and go for Botox, rather change your body, the toxicity gets to have, the ovulation gets to pay for the price, and that gets to show up at 35. So most of the girls who had bodies, they're anything to do with the changing of their bodies, they're telling a different menstrual story right now. On the outside, we are envying their bums and their boobs, but their cycle is telling a different story, and their sense of purpose is telling a different story, right? So the girls need to eat lots of oxidative, antioxidants, or antioxidants are foods which prevent the oxidation, right? For the young girls, I say baobab is one of the cheapest, yet very expensive in other countries, like Kenya, East Africa, can use baobab powder properly. Let's put baobab powder in our children's juices, because it's very high in vitamin C. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. Most girls look for antioxidants for just their faces, because vitamin C also stimulates collagen, right? But also we need to care for the oxidation. When there's no oxidation, also the face starts looking good. So then we can go to blueberries, we can go to goji berries, we can go to purple tea. So I recommend 2 things in Kenya. Why I recommend them? These are our foods, we grow them. Why aren't we eating them? Purple tea is grown here. Purple tea has more antioxidants than blueberries. Did we know that? But it's not sold as much in supermarkets like black tea, yet it's being exported to be sold to other people, right? So let's use our purple tea. Let's use our baobab. Before we can go to cranberries, we can go to fruits that we don't grow, right? But if you're exposed to them, goji berries are very good as well. Now, adaptogens like ashwagandha come in here as well. So we teach them how to take adaptogens. In my country, we use the herbs, adaptogenic herbs, slowly for their teas. But then now when they get to the 20s and 30s, they have more oxidative stress, right? So now they need to introduce maca, they introduce ashwagandha, they introduce mushrooms, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi mushrooms. Those are adaptogenic mushrooms that help the body to deal with oxidative stress, but also support aliveness, support libido, right? So the luteal phase, the final phase, is the phase when the woman is now beginning to get inward again. So follicular phase, ovulatory phase are outward facing. These are phases when she's very energized. We would say they are the masculine phases of a woman. You know, she's expressive.
The follicular comes from the word follicles.
Yes.
So it is...
Follicle stimulating hormone.
It's giving out eggs.
Yes. It's not giving out eggs, it's making eggs. So it's also stimulating hormones that support...
It's making eggs.
Yes. And that's the time when also we have more hormones.
Then ovulation is the giddy part.
Yes.
When we are expecting...
So ovulation is a day, right? It's not days, it's one day. The one day when, so follicular, so the ovaries...
One day?
Yes, it's a one day thing. Ovulation is one day, but we have what you call the ovulatory phase.
There is only one particular day when a woman gets pregnant.
One day.
One day?
Yeah.
And it is not known?
Some of us know it. But majority of people don't know it. So
how
I know people say how are twins made.
How do you know that day? Like it's
one day.
You know it?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
I know as a man,
let's back up because I want this to be very clear to me.
Yeah.
A woman can only get pregnant one single day in a month.
One.
Really?
One. You can't make her pregnant. Like, you can't say anytime she can get pregnant. One day, not 3 days, one day like this. That egg comes into the tubes one day. So the preparation, that time when she's excited.
Let's back up and understand this thing.
Yeah.
What is ovulation?
Ovulation is the time when the follicles open up and release an egg from the ovaries. There are follicles in the ovaries.
So the follicles are the things that look like this?
The ovaries are this,
okay,
right? So inside there are follicles,
okay,
right? So the egg is inside the follicles, right? So the
why
ovaries,
is it inside the follicles?
Well, it's like saying why is the pepita inside the shell?
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, I just wanted to know.
Some things have to burst and burst and burst.
Yes,
We don't.
okay.
We are special like that. The egg represents femininity, so it's protected, it's guarded, and all that. So there's a viable egg. So there are eggs, lots of eggs. So the ovaries or the follicles pick out which egg is viable. Viable means it's strong. It can jump from the ovaries to the fallopian tubes and strong enough to be fertilized, because you need to be strong to put up with that male energy. But so they pick out the viable egg, the strong egg, the good egg, good quality. Will be able to align with the genes of that other guy coming in. The sperm doesn't go to the ovaries. The follicles have to push that egg to the tubes where the sperm has been waiting. Now, where people say that you can get pregnant anytime is the sperm can stay in the tubes for 5 days. Yes. Yeah, so the sperm could have come, you can put the sperms there earlier. You don't have to wait for only ovulation. So it's not like only that day is the only day she can get pregnant. That's the day she'll get pregnant, but the sperm can stay in the tubes for 5 days. So
I see.
So if you make love to your woman or your girl or your darling, let's say 5 days before ovulation, chances are when this egg is released at ovulation, it will find a sperm to be fertilized. So the sperm can stay 5 days, but the egg is only there 1 day. 1 day like this, no sperm to fertilize, comes, it's a period. Now, beyond that day, even if you now make love to her.
Can you imagine I'm 43 and I don't know that?
There's so many women who don't know it. I don't blame you. There's so many women who don't know it. Especially those who conceived without planning and all that. And then they just get their kids like that. It's only women who have tried to conceive that have this.
Okay, so let's understand something properly. You're a woman who does not want to use contraceptives.
Yeah.
And you know that my ovulation sort of is between the 23rd and the 24th. But then the other question is...
No, the ovulation cannot be on the 23rd or the 24th.
Okay, give me a date to work with.
So the way we count our cycle, we don't use the calendar. We use our cycle gives us the calendar. Okay,
now give me explain that for me.
So you have the time to be careful when she's menstruating. You know why I say when she's menstruating? Because some women will menstruate longer, but then ovulation comes earlier. Some women have a short follicular period, right? So it's key for you to know when your woman ovulates. So ideally, ovulation happens on day 14, right? Ideally, right? We are all different as women. So there are those who will ovulate on day 12, day 10, right? So men need to know this ovulation. It's important. When they know it, that 5 days to this date are the crucial ones. So ovulation ideally falls on day 14 of her cycle. That day 14 can look like the 1st of April, like today. Day 14, so you don't use the calendar. You don't say, it's the 14th of April, my girl should be ovulating. No. We don't go by that calendar. We have our own calendar on the inside. So that's the cycle. So you as a man, first way to know your girl, know her cycle. Befriend it. Ask questions. Don't be intimidated.
Okay, so when when the bleeding has stopped.
Yeah.
And she's saying the bleeding has stopped. The following day, what cycle are we at? Follicular.
Yeah.
And then for how long?
So let's say her menses end on day 4. See, we said the menstrual phase tentatively is 4 days, right? So if she bleeds for 4 days, she knows her bleed. When I say she knows, because there's some women who spot after that. Spotting is she's still seeing some blood for another 7 days. So she has to be able to know that those don't count.
The spotting days don't count?
They don't count, because now some of them get pregnant when they think they're still spotting. They think they're still menstruating. So the spotting doesn't count. It's the flow that counts. That's why we call it the flow.
I see.
Yes.
So you might get pregnant when you are spotting?
Yes. That spotting has its own other issues. Low progesterone, that spotting has its own other causes.
But when the bleeding stops, we have the follicular.
So now we have the follicular, which is from day 5 to day 10. You know why I said day 10? Because now the other 4 days, she's starting the ovulatory window. So from day 5 to day 10, how many days are those? Let's say 6 days. 6 days of a free window. Like that window, she won't get pregnant. That window, if your sperm goes in, it will die, because 5 days, it will not work. The 10th day of her cycle is the one to worry about. So to even be safe, the 9th day, right? So her cycle has started. Day 9, no sex. Or rather, if you have sex now, use other ways. Use a condom. Withdraw if you're really good at it.
Withdraw if you're really good at it.
Yeah, some are really. Women use this word, not me. Some say their partners are very weak. When it's time for withdrawing, he doesn't withdraw. Anamwaga. Like he just.
Yeah, but it's. I don't think it's about weakness. It's about biology.
Is it?
You at what time do you make a decision to withdraw?
It happens. Because if you're getting lost in the situation, so Jagero, when you're making love to somebody, you have purpose, right? There's a woman you make love to as your wife. There's making love for connection. There's making love for procreation. You know, you have purpose. If you know that she's in her ovulatory window, I don't think there you will get lost. So the kind of pleasure you're looking for at that time might not be the connection pleasure. You know, like it means you need to be present. You need to edge. You can find other ways of coming. So that for you, it's not when I penetrate, that's the only touch that I've gotten. You know what I mean? As a couple,
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so why do men struggle to withdraw?
Yeah.
You're trying to say it's not biological because at that moment, also you're heightened and you lost. I want to say vulnerability kicked in, and you're lost. You're not able to think, so you're in your limbic state, like you're emotional, you're emotive, you're not logical. Withdrawing requires you to use your brain at that moment, right? And it's not even about the strength here, it's the mental strength. Yes or no, right? But at that moment, you're not in your mental zone, you are connecting, feeling, and you're allowed to feel good, right? So then you orgasm, and when you orgasm, you release, or you ejaculate, and when you ejaculate, you release, right? So let's say I don't want to withdraw or to release in this woman. I will need to edge. A man who learns to edge can be able to tell his
What
sensation.
is edging?
Edging is when you build space between your orgasmic energy. Like edging is when you feel like coming, and then you withdraw. But withdraw means you may not even come out, but everyone has different things they do. Like some men hold their dicks, others withdraw and they do something different. Others ask for a blowjob, instead. Others, like edging is having internal mechanisms where you can be able to play with your pelvic floor so that you can delay the orgasm. Like you can feel it's coming, but you delay it. That's edging, right? Women and men do it. Like it allows you to stay in this pleasure zone a bit longer, which ends up making you feel more fulfilled, which ends up making you feel more satisfied. So edging is healthy for nourishing sex. Men who have trained themselves to edge can withdraw because they're connected to sensation.
Where do they teach men how to edge?
I can give you a simple exercise.
Huh?
I can give you a simple exercise.
A simple exercise?
Yeah.
Like what does that entail?
I like that. I was ready for you to say, go ahead. You can't trick Jagero. This time you are laughed.
What does that entail?
No, but I like that. I like before I can say yes to something, can I first know that one? Right? You edging takes the capacity to strengthen your mind, but also strengthen your pelvic floor muscles. Your pelvic floor muscles can give up on you even when here you're like, babe, hold it. In as much as the brain is the biggest sex energy, arousal energy, but we can train the pelvic floor muscles. When the pelvic floor muscles are strong, you have the capacity to hold. Like for your mind to want to hold and your body and your lower region to hold, right? So pelvic floor exercises are very important for men. Men too need to do bridge exercises. You've seen the bridge exercises?
What is a bridge exercise?
I think we'll get an image and then we'll put it there and then I will show you. So the bridge exercise, the pelvic floor exercises where you can, I will show you the exercise, but I will show you and then we'll show it to the audience as well. So bridge exercises, squats are also good for men. They're not only for women. Squats are not for the nyash alone. They're for strengthening this, yeah. Massages, the penile massage as well is good because when there's proper blood flow, there's arousal, but also mostly the sensation. Like you're able to connect to sensation. There's no numbness.
The penile massage is different from masturbation.
It's very different from masturbation. Masturbation can have the goal of masturbation. Pornography has killed healthy touch. Masturbation before was actually for massaging. It's like how we talk about yoni massage. The yoni massage, the goal is not to come. The goal is to improve
What is a
blood
yoni
flow.
massage?
The same as the penile massage. Yoni, massaging the yoni.
Yoni is supposed to be an English word.
Okay, vaginal massage.
Yeah.
So also the vagina, but for the vagina we use, because it's inside, we can use jade eggs, we use yoni wands, but also hands, you know. So the yoni massage intentionally was to improve blood circulation, remove stagnation from the vagina.
There's something you were explaining to me the other day about yoni massage. You remember when we were having lunch and you talked about the reason why a yoni massage is important for women. Do you mind explaining again?
After telling you about the penile massage and masturbation. So masturbation is touch, it's self-connection. It's how we connect with ourselves, but also stimulates the parts of us that other people can't touch, right? It's when you're bathing and you give more touch to the labias, you know, even pulling in Uganda. For me, it was for touching the parts that require that blood flow, you know, so touching them essentially then ends up into elongation, right? So most people will think it's penile massage is for the penis to be longer and larger, but really it's for touch, for regulation. There are parts, you know, if you don't touch the ears, if you massage this, you notice all these parts have their own different touches. If I massage your scalp, there's a way you feel different from when I massage the hands and stuff like that.
It is really great when the woman at the kinyozi is playing with your ears.
Exactly. So it's the same thing the penis needs.
It's also a bit of a guilt trip.
But you see, pleasure has been only sexualized. Like me and you have been talking about all the time, that touch has been sexualized. So we feel guilty for the things that make us feel good, because pleasure was sexualized, was shamed earlier.
I've heard also women talking about this nice feeling when the men are plaiting their hair.
Exactly, or even doing when they are getting the foot massage and then the pedicure. It's a good experience. The toes don't get touched. By the time those boys are pressing them, you're feeling so much tension.
And the other day you were telling me also something very scandalous. That it's okay to have an erection during massages. You remember me telling me that you shouldn't be.
So, Jagero, when I massage this part of my body, I will actually notice some pink color, and then there'll be sensation, there'll be blood flow, right?
Okay.
When we connect with healthy touch, again taking it to masturbation, we find that so many people are numb, disconnected from parts where they ought to be experiencing pleasure and vulnerability. So in sexuality, there's what we call, there are two systems for arousal. There's sexual excitement and sexual inhibition, right? Sexual excitement is, I can see you, look at you, touch you, and you get aroused, right? You can get aroused from chemistry. Sexual inhibition is your internal system stops you from enjoying that. Like there's an internal system that sort of like rings an alarm that is not healthy. Now we find when most people who have sexual dysfunctions, most people who don't orgasm, their inhibition system switches on faster or more than the excitement system, right? So healing it is making them connect to this part so that they can have self-permission. They can give themselves permission inside to be allowed to be touched, to allow to open their legs, because there has to be agency and consent. So most people struggle with that, or they take long to say it, and so the body closes up. Now for that to start, safety start with yourself. So there's no pressure.
But then
Start touching yourself, not to orgasm, but to connect. So when touch is for connection, you get to learn yourself. But when it touches for orgasming, then there's performance, and therefore you lose the purpose. So masturbation was how we taught people to reconnect with their bodies, so they can give themselves permission, right? But because anything that felt good became sexualized, orgasm, come, you feel better. So then we put it to being an orgasmic thing. So taking you to what you said was scandalous, that when you get a massage, it's okay to get an erection. We should not feel shame for how our body responds to the things that make us feel good. When you buy your daughter a cake, she screams, Sindio. excitement has made her scream. Before, they would say, calm yourself down. You should be a lady. You can't scream like that. Sindio, there's some things that there are experiences, and then there's the after effects, or there's the physical, emotional, and psychological effects of those experiences. Some are seen, some are not seen. For a man, because touch regulates him and relaxes him and stimulates blood flow, his penis may stand, but it doesn't mean he's horny for you. It does not mean he's seeking an orgasm. It's a response to blood flow, or to touch, or to a good feeling, which good feeling should not be confused for a need for an orgasm, or a need to enter you, or that now I need you, you need to be my wife. Same way, if a woman is getting a massage, she needs to surrender and free herself. For her to receive the full benefits of the massage is to allow her body to experience. Tension can come out in different ways. Because when you're getting a massage, you're regulating and then you're releasing tension. You know, so the tension could create more fluids in the vagina. So she might feel wet. So she might get one feel shy and say, oh my God, when I got a massage, I got wet, it must be a sinful thing. If the organ here, which is biggest, is not saying I want to have sex with this person, then that means my body is just expressing the release of tension, which it will do in different ways. Does that make it easy?
Yeah.
So because most people limit themselves from even a hug simply because that later they found that they were wet. Consent has to be mental, right? Consent is, if I didn't give myself permission to have sex with you, then whatever it is, and that's how men mistake or misunderstand women. They say, but you were wet. I'm like, but I didn't say I wanted sex. So he thinks because she's wet, she's giving consent. Right? So he's touching, and then the first place he touches, he finds that her panties are wet. And then before you know it, he's removing them, and then the girl says, you raped me.
I see.
Then the man says, but you were wet, and that means you like me, you're interested in me. If she did not want it from here, that's not consent.
You need massage?
No. Other moments when you listen to women talk about rape experiences, some of the rape they experience is from their husbands, and from arguably boyfriends. And when you talk to the husbands and boyfriends, they're like, how do I rape my wife? Or, why did she say that was rape? And when you talk to them, they say, but she said yes. That the body language is a yes thing. Body language cannot be mistaken for consent.
Okay.
Which is now also the massage. Just because you're massaging a woman and then she's wet, she's not saying, please enter me. She's not saying, give me the happy ending. She's not saying it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
In closing, I think this is a very large topic. It's very difficult to close like that because we have not even gone to 35. Have you realized?
But how we are going to 35 is exactly like that. So, okay, finally the luteal phase. Before you got excited about ovulation, not me. So how do we eat for the luteal phase? How do we tend to the luteal phase? The luteal phase is confused for being chaotic. The luteal phase is where people say women have mood swings. So the normalization of that is what is wrong. And that is why we should not normalize perimenopause or menopause as being chaotic experiences. You know why?
Yeah.
So the luteal phase is the phase when a woman is supposed to slow down. She's supposed to reduce stimulation. She's supposed to be aware of her metabolism and take care of her insulin, right? So the luteal phase, if the woman doesn't eat too much starchy food, but she eats more protein, more healthy fats, if she rests more, right? And then if she listens to herself and she sets boundaries. So the luteal phase is highly dependent on how you take care of your nervous system. If a woman arrives in the luteal phase when that nervous system, the oxidative stress went high, and so she's dysregulated and she gets emotional chaos. But also it's the phase when she needs to start sieving what works for her and what doesn't work for her. It's a discerning phase. It's the phase when a girl is supposed to check, is this good for me? So emotional honesty is important for a girl. Boundary setting, saying authentic yeses or authentic no's. So for a girl who has not been trained how to set boundaries, she struggles on the luteal phase because her nervous system is already dysregulated, right? So the mood swings are only there because we are not teaching our daughters how to emote. We're not teaching them how to journal, how to connect to their emotions, how to sense what's working for them and what's not working for them, to giving them a language how to verbalize it. So the luteal phase is a no-nonsense phase. So it comes as if to punish, but actually it's asking for care. It's saying, please analyze where you're saying yes, which is not a proper yes. It's saying, please set boundaries and protect our emotional energy. Where there's no honesty, align with it, right? So the luteal phase is also saying, nourish us, but also go away from stimulation. You know, rest more, listen inward, and nourish us. So the luteal phase needs testosterone, rather progesterone, to be taken care of. Progesterone rises highest on the luteal phase. It soothes. So when girls are younger, it's the one that is supposed to calm things, you know, calm their nerves, but soothe them. They are people pleasers. They are still yes. They are good girls, right? So progesterone helps them to be people pleasers, but it helps with that. As they tend towards the 50s, rather towards the 30s, progesterone will start declining, meaning their capacity to be people pleasers will reduce and they might get more into the chaos. Now, those who become too much people pleasers, their progesterone can't handle that, right? So as it gets to, because as they get towards their period, progesterone starts dropping, meaning that's when they might get more sensitive. And sensitivity is not a bad thing. Sensitivity, it means they need to be able to check in and be honest with how they are feeling. Okay. They don't need to say yes to almost everything. If they don't feel okay, they need to communicate. If they don't have energy, they need to communicate. If they're feeling hurt or they have some emotions to express to mommy or daddy, they need to be able to communicate. And that goes in having a sense of self, learning how to set boundaries, which is a skill which is crucial for protecting a woman's energy, so that she doesn't have adrenal fatigue by the time she's 30. So if these things, they've not done them in the earlier years, now that's when we'll see hormonal chaos. Which we can talk about in the next episode. Okay. Because I see my watch. So Dawryn, thank you very much for this wonderful episode that we've had. I think you should be able to tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people. Give us your website, give us your number. So this that I've taught, I teach in a program called the Hormone Reset Program. Okay. So I run a program. You can buy it or you can ask to be coached through it. The Hormone Reset Program is a program I teach women to learn how to reparent themselves, to realign with their cycle, to take care of their nervous system, to learn seed cycling, to learn how to heal from those woundings, to learn how their phase is talking to them about which emotional wounds to heal, you know. So I run the Hormone Reset Program. I'm rolling out one, the second phase, because we have, it runs for a whole year, but it runs in phases. So women can enroll every 3 months or they can enroll for the whole year, right? So the second phase is starting on the 12th of April. Those who would want to
after
tap
Easter.
In. Yes, after Easter. Who want to tap in, who want to come and detox their liver. They've never detoxed their liver and therefore they have estrogen dominance. Learn how to detox their liver, learn how to eat to seed cycle, learn how to make their own probiotics, learn which adaptogens are good for which phase of the cycle. They can tap in, we work together. I like group coaching. Group coaching is how we learn sisterhood. Again, for the system to be able to isolate women and shame them, rather for women to sit in silence for long and shame, it's because we were isolated. There's a phase when we were isolated, when independence was the thing, when I can do it alone was the thing. And that's why these conversations are not there. Every woman is struggling with them alone. So I can coach, I do individualized coaching, but still ask that they become part of the group coaching so that we can talk about these things together. There's vulnerability in that group, right? So the group coaching starts at that time. Anyone who is interested to start their own time is also welcome. They just buy the program and then we coach them differently. So I run programs. I also run a program called Revive, because it's key for me for women to not get to 35 when they're confused about their emotions. So Revive, we go back to how were you loved? How did your body adapt? How can you take care of your nervous system? What's your attachment style? How can you heal love blocks? So Revive is for healing love blocks, or sex blocks, or sexual blocks, healing psychological blocks to pleasure. The Whole and Worthy is to teach them how to connect back to that femininity that was not allowed, right? To revive feminine energy in them, know how to work with it, and know how to balance it with their masculine energy. Other than that, I also run retreats. There's one coming up that I talked about. And also I share content about this on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on our website as well. So the website I will share with you so you can share it here. Our WhatsApp, our Instagram is Wellness Together. Wellness Together, yeah. So I'll be very happy to connect with anyone who's interested. I'm very keen on bashing ageism, changing how age feels or sits in our bodies as women and men as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. People of the internet, that was a beautiful episode. I learned a lot. People think that I just bring guests here for no apparent reason, but I learn, and sometimes I ask questions very genuinely. So thank you very much for connecting with us on this episode. Please, if you are watching and you're not subscribed, the reason why we would like people to subscribe to this episode is so that the distribution can be larger, lots of people can get to watch this episode. I imagine that this would be very good for mothers, this would be very good for fathers, this would be very good for people living with young girls that are not necessarily their children. So consider subscribing, hit on that notification bell, follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere else you get your social media dose. Until another episode, bye for now.